Hello, Professor, and anybody else who's watching. This is Douglas Snyder. I'm doing my Week 8 lab on KineticSand. This is the last lab of this class, which I have thoroughly enjoyed. We're doing KineticSand today, and what this lab is about is it's about polymers and polymerization. And what that means are polymers are high molecule weight compounds, and polymerization is a chemical reaction that occurs when two or more molecules combine to form a larger molecule. And when these polymers combine and form, they actually create a 3D network. So KineticSand. Kinetic just means together through movement. So if you have normal beach sand, which I have here, because I live just a couple miles from the beach here in Florida, which is fantastic. If you have sand and you wet the sand, it stays together briefly, but then it dries out and comes back and goes back to sand and doesn't stick together. But when you use dish soap, it forms like an oil-based connection with the sand that doesn't allow the sand to dry out, so it stays together. It sticks together versus just the water where it sticks together, dries out, and then falls apart. So for this lab, we have obviously the sand for the KineticSand. And we're going to mix that with the cornstarch in this bowl, and then we're going to mix dish soap with this bowl, which has water in it. So I'll go ahead and do that. Well, let me do this first. So I'm going to mix the sand. So you add sand. Okay, that should be enough. And then cornstarch, and on the video she used 1 scoop and that wasn't quite enough, so I'm going to use 1.5 just to hopefully make sure it works. And then we're going to mix that up. So the sand and the cornstarch in that one. A little gritty. And mix that up till you have a nice consistency of the sand and the cornstarch. So that's our first step. And our second step is the water and the dish soap. So we're going to add some dish soap to the water. Mix that up a little bit. Like so. And then we're going to slowly and carefully just add it little by little and then stir. It shouldn't take a whole lot to get it going. There we go. We're starting to look a little bit more like sand right now. So here's my KineticSand. It's still a little wet, so I'm going to add a little bit more sand. I might have added too much water. There we go. That's more of what I'm trying to get. So the polymerization that's going on right now is connecting the polymers, and the dish soap, which is a silicone-based or oil-based substance versus just water, is keeping it together. And that's what this lab is about. And this is the result. You have KineticSand that you can mold and shape into whatever you want. It's still a little bit wet, so I could have added more sand. But you get the understanding of what it is. And that is homemade KineticSand. And that is my lab for, that is my presentation for this lab. Thank you so much.